You gotta accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith or pandemonium's liable to walk upon the scene. Accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative, and don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Looking for love online? The book Miracles Online by Kat Troulinos reveals the secrets to finding real connections in a digital world. Get yours today and give someone the hope of true love.
Three, two, and one. Welcome back to Miracles Online podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about love, relationship, commitment, marriage, all the great stuff.
Dating.
Oh, yeah, dating. I am your host, Jeff, and this is
I'm Kat.
Kat. Okay, so before I go stumbling all over, Kat, tell us what this episode is.
Okay. I'm glad you asked, Jeff. Welcome to episode 1. And we are going to talk about those, are they dated, traditional, archaic, those bachelor and bachelorette parties. You know, is it really a true celebration of love, or is it just setting yourself up for regret?
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that. And Jeff has some interesting historical points on how did this tradition even come about.
Yeah,
So
I have a
tell
very
us, Jeff.
strong opinion about this.
Oh,
You know,
I'm
and I'm sure a
shocked.
lot of people isn't going to be too surprised at my opinion. But you know, it's funny that I kind of did, you know, and looked it up and see what actually was the history of bachelor and bachelorette parties and so forth. And the things that we pulled up was actually as far back as 5th century BC.
Wow.
So 500 BC in Sparta. So it talked about that. It talks about the Middle Age in Europe. And these were just gatherings to share wisdom, to share foods and celebrate during this time. So it was a lot of supportive type of event to have these gatherings, the bachelor parties and so forth.
But it was mostly a boys' club type thing. It was guys, from what I'm hearing and reading.
Yeah, the female
Stag
bachelorette
nights.
parties didn't start until the 60s, according to what we pulled up in research. And it was interesting to see that because it was a counterculture feminism movement and all that, that became, it's like, well, if he's having a party, why are we not having a party? So I fully understand that. But remember, this didn't become the so-called boys thing until the 18th and 19th century. From Western Europe to America, where now the drinking and the gambling and the speeches became a little bit more ruckus. Back before then, it wasn't nearly as, you know, a crazy and debauchery and things like that. It was really about sending off to a grandeur of life, if you will. So I thought that was
the original
cool.
intention,
right?
Yeah, camaraderie and a launch pad for your new life.
Right.
Yeah, of course, it went way the other
because you know, in the 20th century we have this thing called Hollywood, and Hollywood likes the romance stuff, you know, and of course bachelor party movies, Hangover, on and on, all these things kind of gives us impression of, you know, the craziness and the things you do that is one last time to sow your oats.
But I think the biggest thing is in so many things, so many, even traditional holidays, etc., is the commercialism. Okay.
Yes.
The wedding industry has turned both into both of them into profit machines, travel packages, party buses, club promotions, Airbnb mansions.
Yep.
So that this, melds into not only the wedding, but this bachelor, bachelorette scenario is a big money-making machine.
It's a big money-making machine.
Yep.
And it became a so-called, thing to do, especially, if you got a group of friends that is so adamant of, oh, we're going to create the party that you'll never forget. In this tradition, let me just give you my 2 cents real quick about tradition. In my opinion, I think traditions are way overrated because someone did something before and then somebody followed it. I should follow that? No. That to me is a wrong reason to do anything. Not just this, but anything. Just because somebody else did it and then somebody follows it doesn't mean that, oh, well, I will do it
most
too.
People are followers rather than
that's
than leaders,
isn't it?
And they paint it as being something celebratory and something that you need to do and that kind of thing. But again, it stems back to that commercialism, the almighty dollar, spend.
Well, there's that. Yes, absolutely. But what about the other side? Oh, I get my one last chance to give me some tails strange before I lock in.
Please don't talk like that.
Well, that's exactly how the guys behave, isn't it? Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm not telling. Listen, and I'm not naming names or anything.
That isn't. It was originally supposed to be a brotherhood thing.
That's right.
And I don't know where you heard or what kind of people you hung out with, but I never heard that you're going to get your last fling.
Yes.
With someone.
Yes.
Bachelor, maybe the stripper, this and that, but not a fling.
Well,
for God's sake, you're engaged. So I don't know what kind of crowd you hung out with.
Well, look, listen, this isn't about my crowd that I hang out with, okay? Because I don't condone this behavior, first and foremost. And two is, so you hire strippers. They're going to take off their clothes. You really think that it stops right there? It's just no different than your server coming up and goes, okay, you guys ready for dessert? It's the constantly upsell. So you think in that business there is an upsell? Come on. And the key thing that I just, like I said, I wanted to bring up, you're ready to go spend your life with someone you dearly love that you're going to marry, and yet you're going to go do this and do some things that they're not, I guarantee you, they're not going to be approved.
Well, we're talking, partying, strippers, and the all pervasive legal, shouldn't be in my opinion, but alcohol.
Yeah.
So,
but what about anything else? The sexuality, the perversion, the contact, the acts. This. I mean, seriously, do you?
I don't know. When's the last time you were at a bachelor party?
I've never been to one. I've seen videos.
Okay.
I've only seen videos.
And it's all
incriminating.
And it's all been on Hollywood.
No. I wouldn't say that. As a matter of fact, when I was in my 20s, and this is where I would say some of my friends and so forth at that age was getting married and so forth. And it just seems to be that there was so much emphasis placed on the bachelor parties. And I've heard stories, and of course we all seen the Tom Hanks movie. So we're kind of like,
what movie is that?
Bachelor Party.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, this is one of the movies that made Tom Hanks really likable because he had this a turmoil decision that he had to make. Do I do this piece of girl that was given to me as a gift, or do I stay true to my wife, or to be so that movie had that element to it. But the thing is that I know other
Hollywood.
Yeah, that's Hollywood. That's just, it's a movie, but we're talking about real lives there. If real lives, a wife actually found out that their husband on the night before or on the bachelor party, which is really within very close proximity of the so-called the marriage and everything, and they found out there was some sexual activities, I can promise you at least 50% of those weddings wasn't going to happen. just because of that. And you need to, as a guy who is in that scenario and situation, be honest about this and say, hey, why am I doing this? What do I need to do this? Because in my opinion, and this is why I'm so firm about this, is that if you believe that you're going to have to sow your oats, because this is the last one,
you're not ready.
Oh, all right. Give me some Coke or something, or give me a Coke and peanuts. Was that what? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's true, isn't it? Think about that.
Yeah, you're not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad permission slip, to do something that really, do you really want to do that?
Yeah. In the younger generation, it's a little bit even crazier about this. And the reason why I believe that is because sexualization and pornography has infiltrated into our culture since the advent of the 80s and the 90s. As soon as home video,
it's a 50-60 billion dollar industry.
Oh yeah, I understand, because what was it? Forbes actually had that as a cover story, I believe, or as a money. That it was one of those money magazines, financial magazines I remember seeing like around 94, because the jump was unbelievable between 1994, 93, 94, from like $10 million industry went into a $4 billion industry.
No, it's a 40 billion.
No, it's now, but it wasn't then. That's what I'm saying. But if you think about it, $10 million industry that went into $4 billion in 1 year, and what made it different? Think about that. You know what it was? DVDs. DVDs came into the world. Yeah, technology changed the whole thing. Absolutely. No different than VHS tapes. Technology changed everything, because prior to that, you got no dirty movies unless you bought little, 8mm films, or you went to a theater. That was it. Okay, so the society has infiltrated this behavior to the level of now you got bachelorette parties with girls doing things that they would never do with strippers. So this is because of societal conditioning.
Absolutely. Societal conditioning, promulgated and promoted and perpetuated by retail. Hollywood and retail follow the money. Follow the money. It's a huge industry. So, they're glamorizing it and promoting it as a, we got to have, do this and the limos and the matching T-shirts and the strippers and this all costs money,
Sure.
And they're all getting paid.
And we don't even have to talk about the Sin City destination. For those of you who don't know Sin City, it's, of course, I'm referring to Las Vegas.
Oh, Las Vegas.
Yeah. Because, seriously, you're going to go to a place away from your home, and you're going to drink abundantly, and then you're going to make decisions that you're not going to take responsibility for.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. When did I Do turn into what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas?
I think that was a promotional campaign that came out about 25 years ago.
Well, I wasn't asking you literally where did it come from, dear. I'm talking about when did our acceptance to this sanctuary of marriage and starting a life together with someone change into that? Like, let's
I think
go, woohoo!
Somehow in the 80s and the 90s that the stripper became the big thing. And we're not talking about a stripper jumping out of a cake and everybody goes woo woo and stick $1 and go home. We're talking about really now it's reaching the point of craziness. And the reason why that is because I really do believe, number one, our moral has changed because of what Hollywood fellas, right?
Absolutely.
And the other aspect of it is the lack of morality being the deciding factor to the generation. And it's not a right or wrong sense from me judging. It's just a point of view of saying, why does this generation behave differently than the generation previous or the generation before?
Because they've taken God out of school, because, since World War II, both parents are working, no one's at home. The family values have.
There's a lot.
Don't get me started on that. How did we get to there? But
well,
there's a lot of mitigating circumstances.
Right.
How we did.
Well, and I think the thing is, where is that peer pressure thoughts of coming from that, hey, you're going to get married, you better get one last one.
Well, again, that's the preconceived notion of this whole, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and let's have our last, rah rah at a bachelor party,
Yeah.
as opposed to the original onset, which was supposed to be a camaraderie, commemoration and union of brotherly connection prior to your life changing.
Right.
Much different.
Figurative.
Much different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different today.
And it's something that, I'm going to blow the whistle on this. And a lot of guys are going to go, oh, why'd you say that? Guys would sit there and tell their fiancés, hey, we're just having a party and there's going to be a stripper and whatnot. And it's just for funds for the boys.
Right.
What they're not getting is a lot of your strippers are actually not just strippers, but they're sex workers.
Yeah.
They're prostitutes.
Yep.
And what's even sadder is they're in a position that they didn't really want to be in a lot of times. And then we have this big issues with trafficking. So all this are negative stuff. Why would you ever want to include the glorious grandeur of your marriage with a negative event? That's the first thing that came to my mind, is that why am I following tradition that's going to put volatility into my relationship and also within myself? Because I'm going to tell you what, if you did the dirty deeds and you then was okay with it, then that tells me and tells the rest of the world what kind of person you are. That to me, man, that's a bad character to have. If you're able to not have guilt and just being able to go, yeah, that was great. I was self-serving and I can lie about it for the rest of my life. No, wrong. It will haunt you because that your significant other is giving you all, and you're going to
hopefully by the time you are getting married, maybe you're in your 20s, hopefully you're 25 or older, so your prefrontal cortex is developed, but by that time, you should be able to make a commitment decision, that is aligned with being faithful.
Well, that's it.
About to marry.
Here's the interesting part. Because we both know that there's been couples that dated that refrain from sex because they believe that this is sacred, this is something for their marriage, and they was, do other events, go to church and whatnot. They're intimate, but they're not having intercourse. So this is a part of decision.
Heavy petting, I guess.
Well. So this is a part of decision that I think is up to the individual to see the compatibility of, because what I find is that the ones that's saving themselves for marriage, whether it's be male or females, tend to have pretty strong will about this and tend to not stray and fray away. What I see the most vulnerable on this situation is the guys who maybe had one or two partners ever in their life in sexualization, in their activities or experience and whatnot. So now they got a chance to get married and they haven't seen enough in their life. The other guys who's always a player, chances are they're not going to get married. And always a player who gets married, chances are they're going to get divorced because they're always a player. The guy who don't know any better is being simulated into a player's world, but really not being one, and then coming back out of it and having, oh my God, what have I done? You are the guys I'm talking to right now. If you're that
peer pressure, and that's part of the point I was going to make about being 25 or older, is you should be mature enough not to succumb to peer pressure.
Yeah, that's easier said than done.
If it's not aligned with your values.
Yeah, especially with a group of fellers, especially if you're an athlete or you're in a band or, you have some kind of they're excuses. Yes, but they're not excuses in the sense of this is a camaraderie of that society, that fraternity behavioral. Okay. And of course, hey man, you're going to do this. We're living vicariously through you and you're going to have the greatest time. We're taking care of it. We're paying for it. Nobody's going to say a word. Nobody will know. You will know. Your heart will know. God will know. I mean, seriously, why would you ever take that chance? Right? That's like saying, it would be a great photo op if I did a selfie in the lion's cage. Let me go ahead and go inside that cage with my iPhone. I mean, gee, really? So make a good decision. This is, again, bachelorette, bachelor parties, this tradition. What are you honoring the tradition about? Because I honored the marriage tradition way more than I honored this little party. Never had a bachelor party, been invited to them, never went. Why? Because, hey, you're my buddy, you're my friend. No, I'm not going to support you doing stupid crap. If I see stupid crap happening at your party, I'm not shutting up. So if you don't want me to be the source that leaks it out, don't invite me, because I don't condone that behavior. Even before I got married, I felt this way. This is actually after I was rebirthed at 29 with my mindset really cleared out, with my heart really open. I start to really understand the level of vulnerability and the trust that somebody gives you, that you're sacred. And you're taking this one tradition, this event that your little support group circle is rah-rahing you to participate in, and a lot of it's because they want the party.
Right. You said the word, they're vicariously living through you,
well,
they're all married.
How do you think I saw the video? Somebody was vicariously wanting to live this life without, and the thing is, I was blown away on what I saw on this activity and the participation of it. It's just like monkey see, monkey do.
Yep.
One guy breaks into a shoe store and starts stealing shoes. You know what? Everybody chimps out and goes and gets shoes. Really? Is this how our society has become? That's the way it is. So if we're in a situation, there's a naked girl. She's willing to do business. Oh, so everybody throws their morals out of the window. Let's all take care of business because we all came with a wad of cash. Bad behavior, especially for the groom, who is ready to stand in front of the woman he supposedly loved and say, yes, I love you. Yes, we're going to be together for the rest of our lives in a very short few days. How do you even do that? It's beyond me. Because if you can lie that blatantly, you should be working as a secret agent in government somewhere, because you're just, so ice water in the vein. It's, that's my character description. You're so able to.
Well, it's sugar-coated as, guilt. This is just men being men, boys being boys. Really?
We all know.
And let me talk to you about the Jeff mentioned the 60s was, the feminist movement, et cetera. And that's when the traditional, hey, us too, we should be able to have a bachelorette party. Really, if you already know the darkness of what that is, why would you want to go, yeah, let's do it too? Are you honoring your femininity, or are you blasphemizing it? I don't get that.
The perception is, it's, well, if he can do it, I can do it. We're equal.
Exactly.
Right. So the other aspect of it is, then when you're there, number one thing that most people blame on their decision is on alcohol. I drank too much, and
that's an excuse.
That's the biggest cop out in the world, and I can't believe
I drink tequila, my clothes fall off.
Yeah.
Let me drink tequila. And I have an excuse for my clothes.
Exactly. Exactly. So whose fault is that? Who made that decision to put that drink into your mouth? You. And why would you want to do that if you already know that you have a checkered past by having alcohol consumption? If you already know that about yourself, you shouldn't be doing that, because again, this is something you have to take with you into the marriage. And if you're starting out your marriage with this, that's a bad foundation already, because you're going to hide that little secret.
Not a good start.
Right.
Yeah.
In today, with the advent of cameras on everything, believe me, somebody's videotaping something.
Yeah.
This isn't a guy with a big
some kind of social media today.
Yeah.
So if you have any stories about that, we have a letter. I'm just going to call it letter from a friend that we're going to share with you, and then close with a poem. But if any listeners out there have any stories about how maybe some videos showed up on social media unwittingly, we'd love to hear about that.
Yes.
Hopefully it turned out well, but and there was a recovery and healing part of that. But yes, with today's, ubiquitous social media everywhere and so many platforms and everybody with the phone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you don't have to, even give us your name if you just needed to confess.
Yeah.
Give us a comment.
Yep. I think you can comment anonymously, right?
Yeah.
I believe you can.
Well, I don't know.
Or you could just give an initial.
Yeah, I was really bad boy, anonymous. Yeah, your face shows up with your account.
Well, like I know, like on Next Door Neighbor and some other things, I don't know how they do it, but some people go they somehow click anonymous.
No, isn't that funny?
It's kind of strange.
Yeah, and it's always like you shouldn't do this. You're an a-hole.
Right.
But I'm anonymous.
I'm anonymous. Yeah, it's very chicken. SHIT.
Poo.
Yeah, it is. I know. And they get ragged. When I see that, they get ragged.
Oh, big time.
Because they're usually on their bandwagon.
Right.
When they go anonymous.
Right. But, again, this is, like I said, this is something that I believe is a tradition that what you consider time honored is not time honored. Nobody honors this. Only you and your little peer group want to have a great time and a party. But it doesn't have to include sexual activities.
Yeah.
Okay. So
with that, I'm going to, because it's a
story, right?
Yeah, this is actually a letter.
Okay.
We're just going to call it a letter from a friend.
All right.
Not going to name the source. Okay. So I wanted to share what happened at my Bachelorette party because it changed the way I looked at the whole tradition. My friends insisted on the classic night out, matching shirts, a limo, too many cocktails, and one of those ridiculous tiaras. At first it was fun, but somewhere between the karaoke bar and the third round of tequila shots, I found myself standing outside on the sidewalk, mascara smudge, wondering, why am I doing this? It felt less like a celebration of love and more like a parody of it. So here I was about to marry the man of my dreams. And instead of honoring that commitment, I was pretending like it was the end of my freedom. The next morning, my head was pounding, but my heart was clear. I didn't need to prove anything with a wild night. What I wanted, what I still want, was to walk into marriage with honesty, with laughter and real connection. If I could do it over again, I'd trade the shots and tiaras for a cabin weekend with my closest friends, sitting around a fire and telling stories about love.
Yeah.
So here's my takeaway. A party is only as meaningful as the love it reflects. And the marriage deserves more than neon lights and temporary tiara crowns. With love, a bride who learned the hard way. Yeah. So my question to you, and then I'm going to end with a poem, is should we keep this tradition alive or is it time to let go? Think about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we've, shared some insights with you that will make you think, twice before having such a heinous celebration.
Yeah.
I thought I had a poem here.
Don't make the mistake. You make a mistake on that, it's going to be not only costly to you, it's going to be costly to
your marriage,
your family,
seriously, to your marriage,
your family. Because I'll give you a case in point. If you do something that later on you own up to it, now everybody's involved because your in-laws, your own family. If you have kids, that bad feeling is like I've described before. You can break a vase and try to glue it back together, but it's hard to glue back something that you smashed it so hard that it turned to dust.
Yeah.
That to me is what infidelity is all about.
Yeah.
It's taking something precious and shattering it into dust. You can't fix that.
No.
Because that is gone. And what did you get out of the whole thing? What satisfaction for physical or stroke of the ego?
A fling or just going along with the crowd.
Yeah, it just cannot be a notch in the gun, could it? Come on, people.
So let's close with this poem. Thank you for that, Jeff. They call it a last night of freedom, as if love were some kind of prison. Shots, sashes, and neon crowns. But tomorrow it's vows, not Vegas clowns. What if the real rebellion, this skipping the chaos for something of bliss, toasting to love, not to loss, and stepping into marriage like a boss?
There you go. That's what we want.
Yep.
We want you to step
into the marriage like a boss.
Yeah, like into your new level up with your bestie forever.
Yep.
And you guys are together going to rock this world.
Yep.
Build a great family tradition of family, not just self.
And I ask you to share this. If something resonated with you, share it with your buds, share it with your girlfriends, your guy friends, that this is a, outdated tradition.
Oh,
it's time to let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
And if you do want to have a party, don't call it a bachelor party. It's not about that. It's about greatness of your friends and
call
family.
it a union party, call it anything. And, as this letter described, she regretfully wishes that she would have just gotten a cabin with a couple of her close friends and ruminated about, love and relationship and what her life's going to be going forward. That's what it's all about. Amen. Spreading that energy in that way. Because everything is energy, thoughts, feelings, emotions. They actually create a vibration in the quantum field. And whether you tell someone or not, it's, you're leaving a legacy of negativity or positivity.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And remove any sexual activity, any kind of, connotation that attaches to just even getting a stripper to your party. It's not a good idea. It is not a good idea. Why? Because that person that is doing that for a living is not thinking what you're thinking. They're making money. If you got an opportunity to make money, they're going to do whatever it takes to make money. And then that's going to be on you if you then have a weak moment.
So let's not keep this tradition alive. It's time to let it go. Spread the word. We love you. We hope you find your true love. And if you have your true love, do the things that line up with you being in love. Right up to the marriage.
And if all this resonate with you and you're still here at Miracles Online, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you comment. And also you see all our links and our descriptions. Go visit our Substack, of course.
Our sponsors.
Of
course.
Kingdom Mindset Strategy. George H. Lewis's Academy. And of course, let's take a second now and let's talk about heart space hypnosis with you.
Heart space hypnosis. So I'm the curator of heart space hypnosis, living by design mindset coaching. And if you have any thoughts or limiting beliefs, through the power of your amazing subconscious mind, coupled with some wonderful techniques in neuro-linguistic programming, you can be a session, maybe two, away from freedom from any limiting beliefs. I've seen it in my own life in more ways than I can count. It's powerful, it's permanent, and it's impactful. So if you'd like more information, you see our commercial and contact information.
And I'm a testimony. I used her program, and it works unbelievably, incredibly.
And this is for sports enhancement. Jeff was my first of many now who've had great success with my techniques for sports enhancement, whether it's an injury or just want to excel in any area of sports. It doesn't matter what the sport is. It's incredibly powerful for sports enhancement. And he's a living testimony.
I'm a living testimony.
On his batting average going from what to what?
My batting average was between 280 to 300. And this is with me training with my team and, going to cages, lifting weights and all that. And it's nothing to sneeze at to hit 280, 300, but I wanted more. So once I got the hypnosis package and I started doing my custom audio sessions every day, because I know it requires that. And I understand refinement.
The mind needs repetition. And so ideally you listen to a customized audio prepared for you for your specific issue that you want to work on. And you listen to it right before you go to sleep. If you fall asleep, that's perfectly okay, because the subconscious mind is taking it all in. I have some clients and I just love it when they're that excited, because it's something that's done not for you, but with you.
Right.
But if you're given the tools and you don't listen to it, you're going to get what you put into
That's
it.
right.
I have some clients that are listening to it 2 and 3 times a day through some rough patches that, mitigating things going on in their life that they have no control over.
Right.
And so that's the beauty of the customized audio is it's like a session on demand.
So
the initial session is like planting the tree, and then listening every night for at least 21 days, at least once a night, is like fertilizing it and watering it as the roots grow and it becomes permanent.
Absolutely.
And pretty soon it's not what you do, it's who you are.
Right.
It's on autopilot, which 90% of what we do is on autopilot. Just many of us are operating on old software. We just need to update the software.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to tell everybody about my conclusion, my results is that I'm on my second season hitting 500.
Wow.
That means 1 out of 2 at bats, I got a base hit.
Wow.
And think about that, hitting 500, not once, but 2 seasons in a row. And in between, I broke my hand on top of that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, it's a long road to be great. It always is. But because I learned how to be great on other things, I learned that skill, that success pathway has to be done a certain way. You have to have patience. You have to have repetition. You have to have intent, focus, and passion behind it. And I put all those energy
Coupled
behind
with heart space hypnosis.
Yep. And with her custom audio in her sessions with me, I'm the greatest baseball player there is.
Yay, that you've ever been. And that's all we can ever hope to in this life is to be better than we were yesterday and the best version of who we are.
That's right.
Because you've heard me say it before, we all, as far as we know, have only one big, beautiful life. Yeah. What are we waiting for? Yeah. Let's take it to the limit.
Yeah. And with that, bless you, everyone, with much love from all of us here.
Yeah.
Open heart. We will see you. And thank you.
Episode 52.
Yeah. Well, this is 52.
This is 52. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're going to 53. Next time. Right. But I want to thank you for tuning in, your support, and everything you do. We are so appreciative of, and thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to kiss my little bear. I'll talk to you then. Goodbye.
Sealed with a kiss.
Hey, my hat didn't hit her face. How about that, huh? She says, ow. Whoop. Now, of course, aren't you going to say goodbye, everybody?
If you're here, something inside you is ready for change, real change. At Heart Space Hypnosis, your transformation goes beyond the traditional hypnosis. I'll be combining powerful hypnosis with neuro-linguistic programming to not only shift habits, but to rewire the subconscious patterns behind them. And to ensure lasting change, you'll also be able to receive a custom audio reinforcement designed specifically for you. Book your no cost to you discovery call today, and let's explore how Heart Space Hypnosis can help you create the lasting transformation that you deserve.
Well done. You've done something that most people only ever dream about. You've started and kept a business alive, and that's a huge achievement and one you should be proud of. Now, I want to help you make that business unbreakable. My name's Adam, and I've spent the last 20 years of my career leading, growing, and building companies and teams for lasting impact. Whether it's in the corporate world, a brand new small business startup, or a 100-year-old family business, I've seen it and I've led it. And what I've learned is building an unbreakable business often requires similar ingredients: clear financial insights, well-built systems, streamlined growth strategies, and optimized operations. Starting with defining your purpose beyond profit, we unlock strategies across every part of your business so that we can arrive at what I call asymmetric endurance, allowing you to get your time back while the business continues to grow, succeed, and achieve its true purpose. If you're ready to build an unbreakable business, let's talk. Book 15 minutes with me today at kingdommindsetstrategies.com.